at the beginning here, feel free, just like keep trickling in and getting yourself ready. In the email, I did send yoga blocks if you have them, a bolster if you have them. If you don't, you'll be okay without it. Also, if you happen to have like a paper, something that you can write with for the end. And then I also put on there, like, I have this shell, but if you don't have the ability to burn, you can just symbolically burn. I'll burn it all for you. Hi, Barb.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So we have Fargo, Pelican, Moorhead. Dawn, where are you located?
I'm in Fargo.
Fargo. Okay, cool. I was having this idea earlier today of like starting to almost have a map with little pins of all the locations, like this mandala of just community that we're creating virtually. To actually see it is kind of cool. And for those of you that are here, if you have the ability, again, if you can't figure it out, no problem. You can either unmute yourself or you can go to the chat. And what I would like is just one word that you brought with you here today. It could be like how you feel, where you're at, where your energy is at, what your body's feeling like. I just want one word so I can start to see just where we're at. And we might be all over the place, and that's okay. Hi. Amal, is that how you say your name? Okay, welcome. Michelle, you're unmuted. You want to give me a word?
I'm trying to figure out how to get in the chat.
Oh.
I've now lost everything. My word is excitement.
Excitement, good.
Yes.
Hopeful, we have energy, we have emotions, we have good, relaxed. Okay. That's all really, really great. Sleepy we have. Well, this yin practice will be a nice sort of descent towards sleep. Happy to be here. Me too. Me too. Build. Yeah. Okay. Yay, look at this community. Amal, where are you located?
I'm in Minneapolis. I saw this event online, and that's why I'm joining. So
yay, Minneapolis, and Holly is in Iowa.
Oh, did someone say Cedar Falls? Did I hear that? No, okay. I'm like, there's a dog barking and
cool.
Maybe. Thank you, Roxy. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. Good. It looks like I'll just make sure everyone's muted here. And so some of you I'm meeting for the very first time today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. That is part of the gift and the power of the virtual space. It allows us to connect in ways that sort of transcend time and space in some ways. So that's pretty unique and pretty cool. And so I try to really acknowledge that in the midst of the many technology tantrums I've had over the past year. So, right, there's always the balance of it all. Tonight really is the climax of this flower moon. some of you were with me at the new moon, where we took time in community to set intentions for the month ahead. And some of you were not, and that's totally okay. The way I teach these full moon practices and ceremonies is that we set intention at the new moon, and at the full moon, we illumine by the light of the moon, allow ourselves to really feel deep, deep release through the ceremony at the end. This particular practice is really, really special because it's a supermoon, which basically means that it's the closest the moon will appear to us this year. It is also a blood moon, which means that it will have maybe this reddish appearance to some people around the world, because it's also a total lunar eclipse. And so when a total lunar eclipse happens, really the sun, the moon, and the earth come into perfect alignment. They're like in approximately a straight line, right? The solar, the lunar, and the mother. And so in rhythm with this orbiting of the natural world, we're coming together in perfect alignment too. And we're going to use this practice tonight to really do this with celebration and sweetness, right? It's said that whatever is moving through you is heightened during the time of the full moon. For you, that might look like very clear what is needed to be released or to let go of. And at other times, it might look like this celebration of sorts, a celebration of all that has come your way. In my personal journey today, it's both of those things. The Anishinaabe people call this fifth moon of creation the flower moon. And it is a time where all plants display their spirit sides for all the world to see. And this life-giving energy is one of the most powerful healing medicines on Mother Earth. It's like as all the plants open up around us, we are then encouraged to explore our spiritual essences too. And so the question I will ask you at the beginning today is, what is flowering inside and around you? Why don't we go ahead and move to our mats if you're not there already? As you transition to your mat, just begin to get comfortable. And so for this opening segment, I'm still just going to speak. And so you can find a comfortable position, allow yourself to really settle in, and then just transition from your outer world to your inner world, from the journey you had today to arrive in this space to the body that contains you and your spirit. Those of you that have been following my work most recently, my new moon intention was to support Indigenous water protectors in my local community and their nonviolent call to action June 5th through the 8th. And it's really been a way of moving my practice off the mat and into the real world, where it feels like we're building something new while something else is crumbling in a sense. I also had intentions within my intention, and that's really what I want to speak of, because through this work, we're learning so much about each other and where we're going and where we've been. And so for you, regardless of where you find yourself tonight, what you're going through, what you're carrying, what you're holding, what we're learning through this water movement up here can be applied to anything. And so those intentions within the intention are deep listening, fierce compassion, and healthy conflict resolution. My hope is that even this community space becomes this like sacred container for each other, where we can arrive with our truth, be open to the truth of another, and come together in community care and support. And really a space that nurtures these qualities of deep listening, fierce compassion. And so from here, let's go ahead and bring your hands to your low ribs with the fingers pointing forward. So you can do this from your seat if you're seated, or if you're on the ground in some way. Same thing, we're just gonna rest our hands right on our lowest ribs here with the fingers forward. Gently close your eyes. And begin to settle your awareness into your flow of breath. As you breathe in, feel into the open and close. Expand laterally into your hands. Open out. And begin to take your hands, turn the fingers so that they point behind, still on the low ribs. And let your breath fill into the kidney space, the adrenals. Open the space into your hands as you inhale. Let your hands receive that in-breath. And puff out. Hold the space in your hands. Our kidney and adrenal complex does so much to support our survival, our fight, flight, freeze response. And when we talk about deep listening and fierce compassion, healthy conflict resolution, oftentimes we turn into a survival mode. From here, release your hands further down your back so that they rest one on top of each other, right above the sacrum. Breathe into your hands. Open into your hands. Feel the grounding. And the expansion. On your exhales, as you empty the breath, begin to feel a slight engagement of Mula Bandha, that lift of the pelvic floor as the navel draws up and back toward the spine. As you exhale again, gently drop the chin toward the chest, engaging Jalandhara Bandha. Feel the container you're creating even within your physical body. Inhale to the hands. Exhale, Mula Bandha. Begin to release the hands, sliding them up the side bodies, all the way to the back of the neck, the C-spine, where we're going to interlace our 10 fingers. Let the elbows remain wide, creating a lot of space. Feel the most amount of space with the hands. Maybe the pinky fingers can feel the occiput, the thumbs all the way down the cervical spine. And pull breath into this space. Feel softness and length. This part of our body tends to project forward, lunging into the future. Instead, draw it in and back to open up the back of the neck into the warmth of your hands. No fighting here. Just support and opening. And slowly wrap hands around to the front of the throat. And all that you express. And slowly, one by one, washing the hands down the throat. Cleaning up any congestion. All the way down to the collarbones. Slowly washing it down. This bridge between heart and mind, between feeling and thinking. And then begin to rest the hands on the heart center and just let them rest. Feeling broad, soft, and yet pushing lightly in and down. From here, begin to interlace your 10 fingers, resting them once again on the heart space with the thumbs pointed up. And gently close your eyes. Vajrapadama mudra. And this mudra embodies a fierceness. Vajra is the thunderbolt, and in a sense, this immediacy. Clear, direct, toward the heart and from the heart. Back of the neck stays long. And tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. As the tip of the tongue lightly presses upward to the roof of the mouth, feel as though through the tip of the thumb, you could access the crown of your head, sensing a flowering of sorts from the crown of your head. Setting an intention for this practice tonight. clear, direct, and from the heart. Release the hands from the body. Let the palms spin up. Hello, you have arrived. We'll go ahead and we'll meet in our Sphinx pose. As you come onto your belly, feel free to use a support if you have. Supporting yourself in this way, or you can come on to the elbows, bringing them right underneath the shoulders. No right or wrong. Whatever works for you. And from here, we can make a shelf for the chin or the forehead. As we're approaching this yin yoga practice, we'll be in each asana for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And so it really allows us to have a work in rather than a work out. And guiding your breath to the space of your lowest back ribs. The home of your kidney adrenal complex. And all the way that complex supports us through our fight, flight, freeze response. All the ways that survival response gets triggered from our daily lives in the modern world. Bring the hands together, let them rub, generating a little bit of warmth, a little bit of heat. And then place the hands over the eyes. All that you have seen, all that you perceive, the way that we organize and prioritize and categorize Lay it down. Let it be integrated into your experience right here, right now. On your next exhale, very gradually release all the way down, coming into full prostration. If it's okay to spin the palms up, let the forehead find the earth. Laying down all that you hold, all that you carry, and all that you grasp. Offering it to the greater cosmic energy. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing back, bringing your hips to your heels. I like to use a block. So if you have a block or something, you can bring in between your ankles. And then my ankles will squeeze onto that block and I'll come seated right onto my heels. Saddle pose in yin. Allowing yourself to arrive fully here. Before then, again, bringing your hands to your low ribs, letting the fingers point forward. Closing your eyes, aligning the spine from sacrum to skull. Steady your drishti toward the tip of the nose. And let the breath expand out in the hands as the hands receive the opening, the expansion. And beginning to wrap the hands so the fingers point back, thumbs are forward. Breathing into the hands, breathing into that kidney complex. Really becoming in tune to the way that our body processes sensation. And so when I talk about feeling, I mean less about emotion and more about literal sensation. What sensation accompanies this idea of expansion. You can leave the hands here or continue them up the side bodies all the way to the back of the neck, where you can interlace the 10 fingers, creating a lot of space. The pinkies maybe find the occiput, the thumbs all the way down the C-spine.
Soaring with the eagle so high, feeling free. Remember me down the road, hand in hand, you and me. Hey oh, hey oh, hey
As you inhale, feel expansion with the in-breath. As you exhale, feel extension, blossoming out the crown of the head.
Remember me, when the sun comes up in the morning sky, there I will be, soaring with the eagle.
Learning how to nurture yourself.
Remember me,
So we can nurture each other.
you and me. Hey Remember me, when the sun comes up in the morning sky, there I will be.
Gradually releasing out.
Soaring with the eagle so high, feeling free.
Letting your arms release open,
Remember me,
down and around.
down the road, hand in hand, you and me.
Coming forward again onto the belly toward our second sphinx. If you feel more open this time, you can go right toward a seal, bringing the hands wide, lifting the elbows. Let your lumbar spine or your low back really be your guide, right? We're going to be here in yin yoga for a length of time long enough to open up. So let the opening be gradual.
When the sun comes up in the morning sky, there I will be, soaring with the eagle so high, feeling free. Remember me, down the road, hand in hand, you and me.
Let your breath breathe to the back, low ribs. Nourishing and nurturing the kidneys. All the stress hormones, the cortisol, the epinephrine, the norepinephrine. Finding greater balance.
inside your heart and be just who you are. Pachamama, home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, home to the place where I belong. Pachamama.
And how can we learn to keep ourselves grounded in the midst of fight, flight, or freeze? Plugged into the earth and our highest self. How can we remain connected to the sensations of our body? Can you begin to notice, where do you constrict, restrict, or expand?
No more secrets. Come as you are. All of it fits just right. Heart to heart. There's no tradition. Nothing by the
And as you exhale, come all the way down to full prostration, forehead down, spin the palms up.
strength to look. There's no more pretending.
All of your stories,
This room
the I, me, the my maker,
through the
lay it down and offer it up.
I see a robe of patches.
And what we're beginning to notice is that even conversations, especially conversations
Letting go of shame.
that tap into our core beliefs, our deepest belief systems,
Your absence.
when that feels threatened,
Expectation.
we fight, flight, freeze.
Your absence. Without expectation.
Lay down the stories,
Don't be scared.
the beliefs.
Come on in. Everything will be alright. Coming true for something new. Hey, what's to lose? All we gotta do is try. Let us share.
Hands under shoulders. Ease yourself up. Let's counter move any way that feels good for you after that deep, deep spine work. Maybe some cat-cow, maybe a child's pose, maybe you're feeling frisky and you want a down dog. There's no right or wrong. Let it be really intuitive to what your body is telling you. The secret to healing resides in your body. And the secret to communal healing lies in our bodies. And then we'll meet on our seat. Coming into wide leg, seated wide leg. And so you can choose how to support yourself. I have long limbs, so I like to really support my sit bones. And I also like to take a block under my legs so that I can have a bend in my knees to ease on my hamstring, right? So especially through this next sequence, gradual melting in. And then we'll go ahead and turn over our right leg. And just let yourself fold over. If you felt like you wanted to somehow support your head, and then begin to close your eyes. As you close your eyes, drishti to the tip of the nose. In traditional Chinese medicine, the inner legs are considered sacred. The rivers of energy that move through your femoral artery, your sciatic nerve, the neurological flow, even your kidney line, all the way to the kidney 1 point on the bottom of the foot. Be with this interconnectedness of your body.
Remember days will get much better. Darling, darling, you can make it through the stormy weather. Darling, darling, please don't ever give up. Darling, darling, you gotta keep your head up.
Final 5 breaths here. And begin to gradually lengthen your exhalation. Letting it release longer and longer than the inhale, maybe until you get all the way to a 1-to-2 ratio breath.
Do you remember when you looked in the water and saw your reflection? That
Hands can function as supports as we ease up.
showed you direction, your sender.
No hurry,
Far in the east where
no
you
rush.
peace when you enter.
Turning to the left,
It's just a reminder, find
supporting yourself in any way,
my love is just a reminder, find your center.
folding in.
My love is just a reminder,
Close your eyes. Drishti to the tip of the nose.
it's just a reminder, find your center. Well, help me recall that first morning, sunlight at dawn, and cracks on the floor, well, it served as a warning. Everything's changing, I'll rearrange it.
And let your breath breathe to your low ribs,
Drove through the mountains, cows in the street, prayer beads you were counting. There
the low back.
eternal giver, flowing forever, remember, find your center. My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder.
Feel the interconnectedness of this life.
My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder. When you've lost your way, colors start to fade. Take a look within, find your offering. Hold it to the sun, let your spirit run. Remember, find yourself.
Final 5 breaths here. And let them stretch out. Exhales lengthening.
My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder.
And as you exhale, feel the release and the relief.
Find your center. My love is just a reminder. My love is just a reminder, find your center. My love is just a reminder.
Hands as supports as we ease up. Slow. Come to the middle. As you come forward, once again, settle in, close your eyes, drishti to the tip of the nose. Feel the opening through your sacred seam of your inner legs. The rivers of energy that traverse the terrain. The Anishinaabe believe that water is life. That this planet is just another extension of ourselves. We can't just take and take and take. Breathe into the sensation that bubbles up. If you feel supported enough that you could release your hands to your low back, letting the fingers touch, rest on your low ribs. And breathe into the hands. Let yourself be held. Let yourself be nurtured, soothed. Our bodies are up to 60% water too. We are water. Our brain and our heart, 73% water. Your lungs are 83% water. Your skin is 64% water. Your muscles and your kidneys, 79% water. Even your bones are 31% water. Feel the interconnectedness. Final 5 breaths. Lengthen out your exhalation. let your hands support as you gradually ease up. Any help you need to the knees, and then again, let's counter stretch. So maybe some windshield wipers feel good for you. Maybe a reverse tabletop. Maybe you want to stretch those legs forward. No right or wrong, whatever comes to you. Before meeting on our backs. And even if as you come to your back, you want a little counter self-massage around your sacral area, feel the low ribs supported by the earth below. Letting yourself be grounded to the earth. Before coming into twisted roots, if you could. I'll teach that first and then give a second option. I'm going to take my right knee and wrap it over my left, maybe all the way till I could wrap my toes. From there, I'm going to push down into my left foot a little, scooch my hips a little to the right, and then let my twisted roots here fall toward the left. And I actually have my bolster over here, and it kind of works just perfect for my knees to come to that support. If you could then outstretch that right arm, turn your vision to look at the right fingertips, and we'll be here in this twist. If the twisted roots just feels too much, you can just keep the knees bent, feet down, and let the knees fall to the left without the twisted legs. Closing your eyes. And how can we heal our bodies to write a story of community and connection? And how can we listen to our body, to the sensations that roll through our body, to the truth of another? How can we show up with fierce compassion consistently? Final 5 breaths. Lengthen out that exhalation. And gently easing the knees up and unwind. If you need a little counter movement, feel free. Otherwise, we'll go right to the other side. Twisting the left leg on top of the right. Hips move a little to the left so that the knees can fall to the right. And if it feels like too much on the spine, unwind the twist of the roots and just let the knees fall together, or you can take some support. Outstretch that left hand, palm spun up, and then turn the vision to see the fingertips. Just for a moment until you close the eyes and turn inward. In Resma's book, My Grandmother's Hands, he says there are 2 kinds of pain: clean pain and dirty pain. Clean pain mends and can build your capacity for growth. It's the pain you experience when you know exactly what you need to say or do, when you really, really don't want to say or do it, and when you do it anyway. It's also the pain you experience when you have no idea what to do. When you're scared or worried about what might happen. And when you step in toward the unknown anyway, with honesty and vulnerability. And experiencing clean pain taps into your inherent resilience and coherence in a way that dirty pain does not. Clean pain hurts like hell, but it enables your body to grow through difficulties, develop nuanced skills, and mend our pain, our trauma. Feel the tension, restriction, or expansion in your body. Dirty pain is the pain of avoidance, blame, and denial. When people respond from their most wounded parts, become cruel or violent, or physically or emotionally run away, they experience dirty pain. Breathe into all the places of tension, restriction, and expansion. This healing begins in the body. Five final breaths here. Stretching out your exhalations. Feeling how you can soothe yourself. Feel yourself supported, held, and lifted up by the community too. Ease your legs up and let yourself unwind toward your Shavasana or your final resting pose. If you needed any last counter movements, feel free to move in any way that you need before you can settle towards stillness here. If you had a bolster and you could bring it underneath the knees for some nice support. Letting the hands rest, palms face up as you arrive. As you settle toward Shavasana, maybe take a few rounds of breath where you exhale out the mouth and release any sort of a sigh. Letting yourself let go. Bring your gaze to the third eye. Even with eyes closed, steady the center of the brow. Remember that which is beyond all our life circumstances, that which is steady and always available. What do you need to release now? What is holding you back? What is weighing you down? Feel into it. Sensation. Tension, restriction, and expansion. You can remain in Shavasana, or you can come to your seat. If you're ready to come to your seat, begin to reawaken through a deepening of your breath. Gradually making our way, gradually making our way. You can remain, as I said, in your Shavasana, or you can come with me to your seat. As you come to your seat, deepen the breath again. We're going to find this magic 6 breaths per minute pranayama through vibrational asana. And so it can be internal and silent. It can be a contained hum, or it can be loud and proud, your instrument. However you see it going here, be bathed in it, chanting Om, the sound of the experience of oneness, right? Oneness. So we'll go ahead. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. feeling the ripples of vibration as they move through you. So again, you can remain in Shavasana and just let this be a meditation that you sit with. Or if you're ready to write, you can go ahead and make your way to your seat. Find your pen and paper. If you feel comfortable at this point, turning on your cameras again, you're welcome to do that. There's no pressure, there's no right or wrong. And as you're thinking through what you just experienced, right, that feeling practice, can you come up with one word that you can bring to the fire? One word that for you will invite transformation to rise from the ashes. How can we together write this new collective healing story? And so if you're ready and you're going to burn, I'm going to burn mine. My one word to transform into healing. Right? Individual and collective trauma. Hmm. And so, right, if you need to get going, feel free, but I would like to just leave a space here, right? We've created this really beautiful sacred container. So if you feel called to share, right, your one word or something that would make it even more powerful and tangible for you, the floor is yours. And again, there's no pressure. Let go. Thank you for sharing, Barbara. Release. Yes, Amal. So much, right? And hopefully what we really begin to see by coming together in community in this way and holding this space is that we're all the same. We're all working through the same ish in various forms. Okay. And we'll go ahead, bring our palms together, let them connect at our heart space. Coming together in this one body, this one breath, this one full inhale, one full exhale, coming together in union in this one life. Okay. Om, om, om. Thank you all so much for being here. Peace, peace, peace.